The government is to give an extra £1 million in extra funding to protect faith organisations in a bid to tackle hate crime. The Home Secretary Amber Rudd first extended the fund after the attack in Finsbury Park Mosque. Eligible organisations can apply for funds to help finance security measures such as CCTV and protective fencing. Well, Stephen Silverman is the Director of Investigations and Enforcement for the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism. He joins us now from Westminster. Good evening to you. Is this £1 million extension, is that enough to solve the problem in your estimation?
Well, look, I mean, the first thing to say is that Campaign Against Anti-Semitism has a very effective working relationship with the Home Office. We think they're doing a good job under difficult circumstances. But this money, as welcome as it is, really only addresses the symptoms of the problem, and from the point of view of the Jewish community, not the causes. And that was highlighted starkly 2 weeks ago when we had to see the sight of the flags of Hezbollah, an organisation that is dedicated to wiping out Jews worldwide, being paraded through the streets of central London.
So you're saying tackle the causes rather than the symptoms. So how would you suggest that that's approached by the government if money isn't enough?
Well, we worked with the government on the Hate Crime Action Plan, which was launched a year ago. We contributed to that. And, you know, some of the actions within that, such as Her Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary overseeing or reviewing how well anti-Semitic hate crime is being dealt with by the police and the CPS, still is waiting to be done. At the moment, those two areas in particular have been failing the Jewish community badly.
So you're saying that the police haven't been doing enough to recognise crimes as hate crimes? Well,
one of the major problems we have is the amount of incitement that is going on. We saw it with the Al-Quds March 2 weeks ago. We see it, there's a tsunami of it online. And unless we are talking about physical assault in the street, it is very, very difficult to get the police to deal properly with that type of incitement. They either don't understand it or, sad to say, in some cases, in our view, they're indifferent to it.
But within the Jewish community, it is being reported, is that correct, that people are confident enough to go to the police, but it's just really getting them to identify it for what it is?
I would say that there is a huge lack of confidence within the Jewish community in the police's ability or willingness to do anything other than tackle the most obvious and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism. So you can have an individual repeatedly calling for Jews to be killed on social media, and either the police will decide it doesn't need any further action, or if they do, then in our experience to date, the Crown Prosecution Service will choose not to prosecute it.
And what's been your experience of money being made available to fortify synagogues and Jewish schools? Has that been forthcoming, and are you satisfied with the financial help that you've received so far?
Well, clearly there is considerable financial help being given to the Jewish community, and that is very, very welcome. I mean, there are a lot of Jewish community groups who approach things very differently, who tackle different problems in a different way. And there may be some issues about the way the funding is distributed among those groups, and that is something we will be discussing with the Home Office. But I come back to the central point. All the money is purely about protection. It's about addressing the symptoms, while the causes are being left largely unaddressed.
OK, Stephen Silverman, thank you very much. That point clear that it's more about dealing with the causes rather than simply the symptoms of hate crime. Thank you for speaking to us.